How you guys doing? This is Jason with Tuna Tech, and today I'm back with another smartphone you really can't find here in the US. Okay, so you saw this video, maybe you didn't. If you didn't, check it out. This is the Vivo 200 Pro, my favorite phone so far this year, which it's early, but it's still a hell of a phone. And you had the iPhone 16 series, and in my opinion, kind of a boring series. And then you have Samsung just releasing the S25 series, with that being kind of boring as well. So some of these phones coming from the global market that don't necessarily get the opportunities to be sold here in the US still have some merit and have some things that make it a little more interesting than what we have here. So what I have for you today is something that was released on the 15th. Unfortunately, here in the US, we can't get it, so I had to wait a little while. But it is this right here, the Honor Magic 7 Pro. A little background on this: I had the 5 Pro, one of my first Honor devices after they separated from Huawei, so they could continue using Google services and Snapdragon and everything else. My favorite phone, and my co-host of the Tech Disruptors, and also the guy who runs One Cut Reviews, Darren, also fell in love with the Magic 5 Pro. Software wasn't the greatest, but the cameras were so good we kind of overlooked the deficiencies in the software. Fast forward to the 6 Pro, and we were kind of like, meh. It seems like Honor kind of sat back on its laurels, kind of didn't do a whole lot of changing, and it didn't really excite us. But here with the Magic 7 Pro, I'm hoping things change. They've done some good work with the cameras, it looks like, and they're really pushing AI. Is it enough to overlook their weird software? I guess we'll find out. So what is the Magic 7 Pro? So it's the high-end flagship phone that boasts very impressive specs, as you would expect from a flagship that's about $1,000. It's got a triple camera setup, 300 megapixels of resolution combined with the 3 back cameras. It features a 50 megapixel main sensor with a variable aperture. They have a 50 megapixel ultra lens and a 200 megapixel telephoto lens with 3x optical zoom. And there's some AI magic sprinkled into that zoom that we'll talk about a little later. It's got a 6.8 inch AMOLED display with 120 hertz refresh rate, HDR support, and a peak brightness of 5,000 nits, which is not that bad, not too shabby. But again, with those kind of brightness numbers, even if it's the brightest phone out, I don't really care about that much. As long as I can see it at night, or I'm sorry, in the day, that's all that matters. Interestingly enough, here in the US, or I should say US, the EU version, the global version, has a 5270 milliamp hour battery. In China, it has like 57 or 5800. So I'm not sure what the difference is when it translated to the global version, why they went to less, but no need to worry because it's still larger than the S25 Ultra, which is technically a bigger phone, but it has 100 watt wire charging and 80 watt wireless charging. And if you pre-ordered this device, they even threw in a 100 watt wireless charger. So again, that's the global version. You can see here, it's the EU plug. You got an adapter. If not, go on Amazon, they're pretty cheap. But that's the main. And then on the front of the phone, there's a 50 megapixel camera, but it's also got like the iPhone-esque 3D face unlock, as well as ultrasonic fingerprint. So it's got 2 ways to unlock. I got a funny feeling here in the US, some of the financial institutions may not support the face unlock on this, but we'll get to that and see if that is true or not. It is IP68 and 69 rated, and let's see, does it say? Okay, so this is in Lunar Shadow Gray. It's 12 gigs of RAM with 512 gigabytes of storage, so plenty enough storage. Seems like 256 and 512 is a pretty standard number now. Inside the box, kind of like the way of Samsung and Apple and every other manufacturer, you got a SIM ejection tool. And here, this time, no case, but you do get a cable. Unfortunately, the cases that I ordered aren't in yet. Here, again, being in the US, cases aren't widely available, so I did order some from AliExpress, and I may have ordered some from Temu, I don't remember. But they should be here by the end of the week. If you're interested in those and see how good they are, leave a comment. I can do a quick video on those too with the phone. But yes, this is the Honor Magic 7 Pro. I'm super excited about this. I've always loved Honor devices. It used to be like the mediocre brand of Huawei. Now it's kind of like, now that they've separated, it's more of an elite, you know, flagship style phone. Interestingly enough, speaker wise, obviously stereo speakers, but it's got a what they're calling is a Honor surround subwoofer. So I'm really excited to see how this sounds. But you can see there also, it's got an IR blaster, something we don't see here in the US too much. Top tier performance, Snapdragon 8 Elite. The only downside to this in the new S25 Ultra, they got the Snapdragon 8 Elite for Samsung, so it's a little overclocked, probably slightly faster, but I think with what is in this thing, you're gonna have no issues with anything you wanna play or do on it. So the big thing they're pushing on this phone, and you can see that, look at that color. I don't know if you guys can see that. Look at that. They Honor in these global phones, like I'll even show you. This is the Honor here, kind of got that shimmer. I'll take this orange phone case off the Vivo. Now, Vivo and Honor are not related at all. They don't own by the same company or anything like that. But now look at this. You see how it's kind of shiny? These companies that coming from overseas just seem to have a little more thought and taste. The camera module is a little different from last year. They got like a squircle, I guess you want to call it. You got a power button, volume, and nothing on the side. You got SIM, charging, mics, speaker, antenna lines. But what this company is really pushing is their AI. So they've got AI motion capture. This has been a staple on their phones for a while. You point at a subject, you tell them to jump, and it automatically captures it without you having to press a button. This is what got me excited for the 5 Pro. I took my daughter out to like a water park, and I just told her to jump, and boom, instant. It was really cool. It wasn't always perfect, but I could see from the 5 to the 6 how it got better. So I can imagine it's even better, especially with the processor and how it can capture images better. It does have a screen protector pre-installed, and this is the front camera and the 3D face scanning. It's got AI enhanced portrait for better portraits, AI super zoom, taking a page out of Pixel's book, but from what I've seen and what I've read, it's slightly better. It does have Magic Portal, which from what I understand, Magic Portal is a simple circular gesture to easily access information or apps. It supports a wide range of work and life scenarios, enhancing both convenience and smart functionality. Basically, from what I understand, in the comments, leave something if you think I'm wrong. Basically, if you have other Honor devices, you can access them by just touching and using your phone, and vice versa. It's got AI deep fake detection, so it can detect if something is not real, if it's a deep fake. AI translation, most phones do that. And then when it comes to pictures, it's got AI edit, AI eraser, just like Pixels do. It's got AI outpainting, which I was like, what is that? So basically, if you take a picture, it will actually expand the view using AI. AI cutout is like you see a subject on the screen, you can tap on it and you can separate that from the background. AI notes, basically voice to text. AI privacy call. So basically, if you're in a phone, I keep saying basically, sorry. But if you're in a phone call, it will direct the other person towards you, more into your ear, and that way your phone call is more private. AI dual noise reduction in calls, and you can even create a custom 3D avatar. And with the 3D scanning, it will look at you, mimic your eyes, and all kinds of stuff. Kind of a gimmick, maybe not. But what I've noticed is most phones coming out nowadays are AI focused, and whether you use it or not, I think the AI photography stuff is more something that I use just because editing is getting much easier on these. But some of the things you don't think about, like privacy call, dual noise reduction, you may not notice right off the bat, but it's something that's automatically included. But like I said, guys, the Honor Magic 7 Pro is definitely a strong contender in the flagship phone market. It's offering a compelling combination of powerful cameras, stunning display, obviously long battery life, and top-notch performance. It's a great option for any user who wants a premium Android experience or who wants to jump ship from iPhone. Before we cut out and get away from this, there have been some rumors, and I've read some articles, where some phones with this new Snapdragon Elite processor are overheating. And that's why you might see like Samsung and Red Magic and Nubia adding these extensive vapor chambers and fans and cooling metals. But the more powerful and the smaller these processors get, they're going to create heat. So unlike Apple where they control everything, hardware and everything, these annual Android manufacturers are actually building their phone around a chip that's not made by them. So hopefully we won't have any issues. I've only had one Snapdragon Elite processor phone. That was the Nubia 70. And I did have some graphical errors playing some games, but I don't think it was due to the chipset. I think it was more of the phone and the software. But Honor's hopefully been around long enough that they will have tested this and got the proper cooling in here. I didn't see anything that stands out for cooling. But again, my name is Jason. This is the Honor Magic 7 Pro. If you want to see more, hear more, know more about cases, leave a comment below, and we'll catch you next time. Peace.